To Megacon, you Megaconites. Back to you.
So, Roger, we're going to take questions from the audience. I'll kick things off with a couple of things while we line people up. We got a mic here, a mic here, a mic there. How you been? What have you been up to?
I've been
Not
just
much, I'm
fine.
sure.
This has been, of course, a very, very unusual couple of years for a lot of people. Fortunately, we have been able to continue to do SpongeBob. We're still recording that. Plus, in case you don't know, we have 2 spin-offs now. We have Camp Coral, which is CG, and a lot of fun. It's a younger version of all of us. And the Patrick Show, which again is a really weird kind of a spin-off. And I've been enjoying doing the new versions because even though we know our characters, it's a different little take on that character. I'm a newspaper boy trying to collect his bill in Patrick's Show, and I'm a camp counselor, kind of the older one of the people there in Camp Coral. So it's a good little acting exercise to try to do your character at a different age and a different level of innocence. And you learn how we became who we are as adults. So if you haven't seen it, please tune it in. It's a lot of fun.
Well, on the subject of the origin story of how people become who they are, how far back does an interest in voiceover go for you? Were you a kid who watched cartoons and wanted to do cartoon voiceover from an early age, or is that something that came later?
I always did. I always wanted to do it, but never thought that I could make a living at it. Back when I was growing up, the king was Mel Blanc, and he was the person that ushered me through my childhood. And but I never knew that I could make a living at it. My goodness, wow! And to end up this way, well, end up, I'm not done yet. Is a wonderful little flow of my life. I'm very, very thankful for that. A lot of people come to my table, young adults usually, and they will say, "Thank you for chaperoning us through our childhood. Thank you for our childhood." And that's exactly what I would have said to Mel. So it's a great thing, wonderfully. Just touching thing to be a part of some kind of legacy for people's developing years. So I'm very, very grateful for that.
Well, y'all get up to those microphones, they're getting lonely. The thing that I also wanted to ask was, at what point did you want to be a performer? Did you know when you saw some TV show, some movie, when you saw a play, what was it that you feel maybe kickstarted you toward performing life?
Well, it was puberty. I had a really high voice as a kid, and then when I went through puberty, it dropped like the mumps, as they say. And I had this sound that people often associate with an announcer. It's a certain frequency vibration, what we call a little bit stentorian. So I studied broadcasting in college, and went ahead and got the degree, but I got more interested in acting in college, and then went to New York to pursue that particular thing. I still have the announce things on my tool belt, but I preferred the acting part. So that's basically how I did it.
One little brief thing before we turn it over to the audience. I know that D. Bradley Baker has a really great website, iwannabeavoiceactor.com. What do you recommend aspiring voice actors of various different ages do if they are wanting to get into voiceover and do that kind of work?
I would recommend two things, one general and one specific. Try to imitate things first. Like in the old Renaissance, the up-and-coming artists would always imitate the masters, and that's how they got their chops going, and then they had to develop their own style. Think about your family, think about interesting people in your neighborhood, kids, friends that you know. Try to imitate that. That's how you develop that mimic skill, and develop your comedic and acting chops at the same time. Generically, now, I always tell people, if you have a dream, pursue it, please, to the extent that you either make a living at it or decide, it's not for me. The only failure is not trying. And it's not like it's going to ruin your life, but you'll always have in the back of your head, what would happen if I had studied acting, or if I had gone pastry chef or something like that. So the basic notion is, please pursue your dream.
He has been trying to get this house made for 5 fucking years. Every year in concept, he shows up the first day, and we're like, okay, Manuel, come on, hit us. Come on, hit us with the idea. And it's different every year, changes little vary here and there, but he's never gotten it. It's never made it. And not because it's not a good idea, Most
it's
of the time,
awesome. It's
yeah,
awesome.
but mostly because we go back to the slate thing that Nate was talking about, and if a slate matches up that's just a little bit too similar, it gets wiped off the board because we can't have two things that are too similar. So, Manuel, bless his heart, he's been trying so hard, and I've been on his team for like the last 3 years going, yeah, we're gonna do it this year. This is the year. And we have a plan, and we bring in mood boards, and we're all ready to go, and shit gets shut down immediately. Or, we talk about Cursed, it makes it a little bit into development, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, nope, so-and-so
I
signed
know,
off.
we obviously can't say what that is,
Nope.
but I believe that at some point,
God, I hope so.
it will make it.
I'm gonna be so excited.
It's gonna be great. It's
Yeah.
gonna be good.
What character do you feel is underrated? We already covered that one. We already covered that one. Thank you, Susan. Why is Lily so cool?
Ah, that's a great question.
Who the fuck's Lily?
Lily's my wife.
Oh yeah. Hi, Lily.
Lily's the best. So yeah.
What is your favorite part of the creative process? Elira, where's Elira? Is Elira here? No? Okay, cool. We're gonna answer your question anyway. What's your favorite part of the creative process? You know, it would be easy to say that the creative process, our favorite part is the beginning of it, right? The concept, the blue sky. You can go out there and it's 40,000 feet, and there's no budget, and you just say, fuck it all, we're gonna do this. But for me, my favorite part of the creative process is actually putting rubber to the road and developing it. Actually being able to see it. And then the final piece is people experiencing it and the enjoyment that you see people. I said it earlier in the panel earlier this weekend, and I mean it. It's absolutely fucking wild that anybody would tattoo a character that I helped create on their body. So wild. It's like the most humbling thing that can happen. You're like, wow, you cared enough about Chance, or you cared enough about any of the other characters that I might have had a hand in, and you did that. That is amazing. And thank you.
Yeah. And also they're badass characters, so it's not a bad choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're awesome. But anyway, yeah, my favorite part is getting it out, and then the people coming and experiencing it, and me getting to see how people interact and how much they add to the experience. You know what I mean? There's something cool about creating stories that they're almost not complete to the people who interact with them.
Yeah, it's true.
Interact with them, right? Yeah. So that's a big part for me. So I love that part probably.
Thank you. You guys are so kind. Thank you so much. It has seriously been an amazing weekend. I don't know about you, but I did not know what to expect. This has been such a weird year and a weird, hard time. But it has been so encouraging to see so many people this weekend, so many fans of the show and of anime in general and the art. It's just encouraging to us, and I hope that you know that. And also, I want to say I really appreciate everybody being so cool about the masks. Like, thank you. It really lets us come out and do stuff when everybody is playing by the rules. And we were talking last night, me and Chris and Brandon and Michael all went and ate too much sushi. And we were talking about how amazing it is that the reason we get to do that, I mean, A, that we get to do it at all, but B, that you guys make it such a joy and sort of allow us to get to do this. So thank you from the outset. Like, thank you.
Do you have a script, or how do you record your lines?
Well, it is different now. So I still go to the studio at Sentai. At the beginning of the pandemic, you can record remotely. They also put all of these processes in place. So like, which is amazing, and they're gonna keep them because they make sense. Like you go in now and it's all touchless. You don't touch anything or get near anybody, and then you go straight into the recording booth and you pick up your own sanitized pair of headphones when you go in, and you take them out, so everybody gets their own headphones. They wipe everything down between actors. So when you're in the booth, you are usually in there, you've got your headphones on, and there is a monitor, and on the monitor is your picture. So there's the show, I would watch My Hero, would be there, and then your script is on one side of the screen. So they would just go to my part. You go, Otako's cue to cue. Here's her first line, here's her second line in the next scene, and then maybe she has a scene after that. So we just go cue to cue. I don't watch the whole show. And you watch it through once in Japanese and ask any questions you might have, and then you give it a go and see if you can match the flaps. And after you read it, they will go back and place it and see if it fits. And that is essentially how it works. Now, because we've been doing it for Funimation, I've been recording remotely. So, which is a whole bananas thing. I never thought I would record anime from home. I record audiobooks from home, and corporate and e-learning from home, but I never did that. And Funimation figured out a way for us to do that. So now, we all log on. I log on to Source Connect and Teams, and we have shared a different app where we share the script. So we watch the video in Teams, and we're all talking over Source Connect, and we record that way. Isn't that wild? Like, we're in the future, you guys. It's crazy. And I recorded a video game for my friends out in LA that way, too. It's just wild. And I'm in my closet in my own house. In my PJs or whatever, you know. Bananas. Just bananas. But yeah, you just kind of get used to it. The more you get used to hearing the Japanese and looking at it and seeing the words, you really get a sense of what's going to fit or how it's going to fit. The flaps, the lip flaps. It's just something you really pick up.